Chapter 28. At the top of the bugger's shoulders sprouted the metallic squibs and squiggles that constituted the upward portion of their cyborg attachments. A shiver of sparks and power spouted from these, like fairy dust spraying over their heads. They spasmed for a moment, and then they bolted. "Damn it," cried Sanchez. "One of those big bastards is heading this way." Machiko had noticed, and she was up and ready. Because the retreat had seemed so regulated before, despite their quick reflexes, the change in the buggers surprised the hunters. Several of the buggers simply whipped through one flank, managing to injure one of the smaller warriors in the process. They were moving with a speed that Machiko had never before witnessed in another species. There was a frenzy and insanity to their movements that was unnatural. She could feel it in the air. "They're nuts," said Sanchez. He readied his gun to fire, drawing bead. "He's lost control," said Machiko. "Totally lost control." She suddenly realized something else. "No," she said. "Don't." "What?" Before he could fire, Machiko jumped on him. She pushed his blaster rifle away, pushed him down behind the lab cabinet. "What the hell?" "Let it pass," she said. "It's not after you, it just wants to get out of here." Even as she spoke, the creature hurled itself past, all a-clatter, toward the door. Machiko looked up. All the buggers were thundering away, not interested, it would seem, in fighting the Oucher, except if one got in the way. In that case, it was the Predator who was in trouble. The Predator seemed as surprised as Machiko, and for the most part allowed the buggers to race out into the night. "We've got to get out of here," said Machiko. "Why?" "What? Do you think it's a trap?" said Attila. "That's a definite possibility. What I think, though, is that Evanson has lost control, and he's panicking right now, and he's going to just cut his losses and try to cut us in the process." "How?" "Blow this whole place up." She didn't wait to explain more. "Attila, I want you to tell the hunters in no uncertain terms to get out of here, right away." Attila did not quibble. Machiko lifted his head, and in a loud, commanding voice, he made the announcement in the Predator language. The hunters turned to Bakub for confirmation. Bakub made a definite gesture. "Out of here." Machiko and Sanchez ran. They ran through the door, out to where Daniels was stationed. "What the devil is going on? Those monsters," said the man, still behind cover. "Look!" He pointed. The buggers had run straight for the security troops. They were tearing them apart wildly, savagely, pausing in their flight to rend and mutilate. Splatters and mists of blood rose, and blasters churned with bright fire, liming the beasts in mad berserker carnage. The hunters started to stream out of the place. "Trust me," said Sanchez, grabbing Daniels by the arm. "We've got to make a run for it, now." Daniels nodded. Unquestioningly, he followed as Machiko raced ahead, guiding them to the safe side of the insanity. She could feel the urgency boring down upon her. Got to get away from here. Away. Her breath was strained and heavy in her lungs. She could feel the deadliness in the atmosphere. Livermore Evanston groped, found the button, pressed it, spoke the voice commands, modulated on his tones alone. Better luck next time, he thought. The biofactory exploded. The blast emerged from the very center, like a vortex of pure energy, ripping apart every board and girder in its flash-quick pathway. The force of the explosion slapped across Machiko's back like a hard hand, picking her up and throwing her a full 2 meters, trying to pluck Attila's head from her grasp. She held on. She held on and hit the ground, rolling and clinging to her consciousness. Around her she could see, peripherally, the equally devastating effect that it had on the others. Several predators who had not gotten out of the building were just pieces of flesh and bone and armor now, spread in clumps of gore. The others had been tossed a greater distance from Machiko, some into unconsciousness. Most, however, survived. Most got to their feet immediately. She could see them now, taking stock of things as a great wave of fire ripped and tore through what little remained of the factory. The force of the blast had knocked over the security soldiers. Some were running for their lives now. Some were being wasted by the hybrids, who were buzzing through them like bloody chainsaws, senselessly slaughtering. "Attila!" she called. Still here, getting used to this. Sanchez, Daniels. Afraid Dick got himself pretty well knocked out. But I'm here, Sanchez said. He'll be all right. Leave him for now. Probably he'll be safer there. She could see Bakub rallying his troops. They sure haven't quit. They're going after the hybrids. More power to them. Even as he spoke, blaster fire began again, faded in the light from the fire. What do? We take advantage of the chaos, said Machiko, and we find the people who are responsible for this carnage. That might be the only way to stop it. She pulled on his sleeve and then headed for the control headquarters, leaving behind the screams and the heat.